Hi everyone, it's great to see you. It is November 1st today, so I thought this is a perfect day to give you an update on what to do with your hydrangeas, especially those that are potted. So here I have one of my large planters, and in it I have a bag. So this is the time of year when I go around and I start to take out my bags that are in the pots, and I lift them all out and I line them all up together. So here is my whole line of hydrangeas here that I have lifted out the bags from the bag in the pot I have a few of my hard resin pots here too, but these have been all around the yard, and boy, did they bring a lot of happiness this year. They did great. This is the time of year though that now I start thinking, how am I going to prepare my beautiful hydrangeas for a great season next year? So here it is, November 1st. We're thinking, what do we do to make sure our macrophylla, those are our big blue pink balls of hydrangeas, those are the ones that are most sensitive to the weather. And we're zone 6B/7A, so we do get some cold weather. What are we going to do to make sure that their buds that they've set on now, especially those that bloom on old wood, we want those buds to not get nipped by the frost. Now, the good thing is you don't really have to worry about them getting damaged this time of year. It's in the spring when they think it's going to be warm and they start to have their buds swell and some of them even open, and then we get a late frost. So for now, you're going to take your planters and we're going to put them somewhere that they're still getting watered. So these all get watered with our irrigation system that's watering the grass, at least until November 15th when we turn that off. So they're getting watered because I want them to, still have that water to survive on. But notice their leaves. Most of them still look pretty good here. They haven't had cold temperatures long enough to really defoliate. So I'm going to leave them out until December 1st. That's pretty much my cutoff here. December 1st, most of the hydrangea will have dropped their leaves. And if there's a few leaves hanging on, that's okay. I tend to just pick those last couple leaves off. Then I move them into my unheated shed. You can put them in an unheated garage, something like that. The reason I do that is these aren't in the ground being protected by that soil around them. So they're going to have this cold air surrounding them, and that means their roots get a lot colder than the roots of those macrophyllas I have planted in the ground. I need to protect them because of that. There is a chance that they could not make it through the winter if I don't protect the ones that are in the bags and the pots. But you're fine to leave them out now until about that December 1st time. You're going to keep them watered. Then you're going to have a whole bunch of dead looking sticks that you're going to carry into your unheated protected area. And then I only give them about 1 cup of water a month until I pull them out May 1st. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, May 1st seems so late. And it's true. I'm already out planting other things, and I'll peek in the shed and I'll see that they're putting on new leaves and everything, even though they're not outside. That is fine. They can still stay there. May 1st, we're pretty sure that we're not going to get a late frost, and I can take them out and situate them back in the garden. Now you might notice as you're waiting this month until they defoliate that different varieties of leaves really look different. We're going to see some that start to get sort of this red foliage change here. We have this nice maroon color. That's beautiful. Enjoy that. Some of them get that beautiful color sort of in this mosaic pattern where they have pockets of color that show up, which I think is so neat. Let's see, this one is just past, and some of them just start to turn brown and fall off. All of those are okay. And worst case scenario, you look at one of the leaves and you're like, ooh, it has a black spot on it or something. That's another reason why you don't want those leaves to come into the shed with you. They're gonna fall off out here. You're going to clean them up. You won't be overwintering any of those things. Is it worth treating them for it right now? Probably not, to tell you the truth. They're on their way to dormancy. Just let those leaves fall off. Don't worry, clean them up, and then you'll carry those nice pots of twigs inside your shed, and they'll be ready for next year. Now, there are a couple other things that I do consider. Some of these have perennials in with them, like this one, which has a coral bell. This is an evergreen, so it might stay green in the shed, it might die back, it'll be fine. And here's a hosta. Hosta tends to sort of get like mushy and gross leaves. You don't want any slugs or snails thinking that this is fabulous. You're just gonna cut off any hosta leaves. Any of the annuals that you had in here, as soon as they start to look like they're past, take those out too. You're really just focusing on bringing the hydrangeas inside, or those perennials that you're going to overwinter. We're gonna take anything that can harbor insects, that can harbor disease out, so you're really getting the best that are staying with you. So here's a look at what I'm doing. I know it doesn't look like much now, but I'm still looking around going, oh yeah, that one did really well. Look at how big this one's gotten. It's really fun to take stock of where we're at and look forward to that for next year. So one more thing before we go. I'm in zone 6B, 7A. Say it gets super cold in a couple weeks and you have snow and it's just amazing. You're like, oh, it's so cold. Don't worry. That's the beginning of the winter. They're going dormant. They can get cold then. You can still leave them out to that December 1st date and then move them in. So you don't have to have your eye on the weather super carefully on this side of your hydrangea plantings. I hope you are still enjoying your gardens wherever you are. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.